What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of the Fair Shake Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Fats, aka The Beast. Can I get it for the one time? And now introducing the rest of the cast, starting with the captain.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys enjoy this episode. It's K1, the captain, and on to the next host.
Good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Whatever time you guys listening to this today. Finna get manguno huevos. Yeah. As far as news, this past couple of months for summer. I know I had mentioned that I wanted to say it every week. It's been kind of hard, only because the news that's been coming out is just pertains to COVID or politics, and I don't want to talk about grim stuff like that all the time. But Chris has said there's a rumor that there's a possible release date for the Xbox Series X, and that's November 15th, correct?
No,
Or
the
5th?
six.
The 6th, okay. Was that um AMC is supposed to start having they're called penny tickets, so you'd be paying 20 cents for tickets for opening day for any movie. I want to see how that works out. I could only imagine that, concession is gonna be crazy through the roof, but who knows? And if you guys haven't checked it out, the new craze that's going out everywhere is called is this video game called Fall Guys. It's really fun. It looks really fun. It plays really fun. Basically you have to do mini games, and it's sort of a battle royale take on mini games. And yeah, check it out. On Steam is 20, and I believe on PS4, if I read that correctly, it's free for any PS Plus owners. So yeah, now on to the show.
Great, thank you for that, bro. So back to our little series that we've been doing for the past couple weeks, where we take the MCU movies in chronological order. We watch them, we rank them, and we rate them. Now, this week it would be the last two movies we watch for the MCU. So that means our little series is coming to a close. For this week, we will be talking about Endgame and Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Two good
So,
ones.
two great movies, in fact. And it's two great movies to close out this little series.
Yeah,
Little series, I feel like this was a really big undertaking, to be honest.
yeah. We've been at this for a couple months already, but
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not by no means am I saying this is terrible. I think that seeing it a second or even third, four times and plus, um definitely you get to see a lot of things you didn't see it the first time around. And I think that more so I could say for Far From Home. There's a few things I noticed.
Yeah,
So
it was my first time watching it.
we gonna start with that one, or
No, we're gonna
if it
start with
has?
Endgame.
All right, cool.
Start with Endgame.
Yeah,
Um,
I wouldn't
uh,
mind starting.
go ahead.
So overall, this is, if I had a personal list, this would be on the top. I like this. I know Pro likes the other one better, part
Infinity
one.
War.
Yeah, but to me, I like this one a little bit better because it shows them dealing with like the loss of all their friends. You know, this after the snap, how they're like in shambles, basically the group. Um, when moments like when just to skip a little bit, not to take too long, but moments like when Spider-Man comes out for the first time out of the portal, whatever that Doctor Strange creates, and he sees Tony, he hugs him and stuff. That's a tearjerker right there. I was watching this movie at work, so I had to tell a couple people I had allergies because my eyes are a little watery. But there's a bunch of moments in this movie like that. Um, I love the major, like, I think the Wakanda fight might be a little bit better from Infinity War, but I like the fight here too, the big war by I guess it would be by the Avengers headquarters because that shit is all
Yeah,
fucked up afterward. It looks like a whole nother planet that they're fighting on.
Mm.
legit.
But that fight is pretty good too. I just to be honest, it's cool that one part I didn't like about this movie, and I might get some hate for it. It was too like a little too cringy when they had like the girls fight, like they had like the little
It
girl
was
scene.
forced. I felt that it was forced.
It's yeah, exactly. It was
It
too
was
forced.
super
Like
forced.
it's
You know,
cool. It's cool. Let the girls have their moment. Yeah. I mean, Captain Marvel. Look how beast she is, and
I'm almost certain she could have done that whole thing on her own.
but they forced that shit like
That it was forced.
crazy, bro,
Yep.
and it was so cringy to me. Even watching it again is even worse, bro. But like, all right, another. There's a lot of cool moments, like when Cap. I think he throws his shield and then he throws the hammer off the shield to hit what's his fucking name? Thanos. Yeah. When he finally picks up the hammer, that Thor gets hype is a good moment. And my last thing, when Iron Man and his wife they're like back to back shooting like lasers at people, that was pretty cool
Oh,
too.
that was one of my favorite moments actually.
That's a dope ass. That would be a cool like wallpaper on like a computer or
Hmm.
something. But yeah, other than that, the tear jerking moments makes this like my top Marvel movie.
You mind if I go, Fats?
Go ahead.
So, I'm on the other side of the road when it comes to this film. I loved Infinity War because of everything that led up to it. I loved the scope of everything. I love what happened in Infinity War. You understand? But this is Endgame, and this is where it ends. So I didn't like Endgame too much, only because, like, yeah, I understand that we saw how everybody was dealing with the aftermath of the snap and how important, it was to show that, in a sense, to see how people grieve and deal with loss and stuff. And even though Hawkeye turns to Ronin here, I still think he's trash. I'm not gonna lie. I don't find him interesting.
His haircut though is fire. Just saying.
Okay. But all in all, like, I'm gonna be honest, I just felt like I didn't like seeing Widow go through her breakdown. You could see her hair is actually growing out, the colors growing, out because of the whole situation. Then you have everything with War Machine and Marvel, and they're bitching with her, like, not War Machine, but who was it? I think Rocket Raccoon. He was like, "Oh, we need you here, whatever, blah blah blah," and she's like, everything that you've done here is happening around in the whole universe. So, I mean, yeah, there is people there to still save them and whatnot, but still, like, I don't know. I don't. There was, in my opinion, there was dialogue in the film that I don't think we needed. Um, that being said, it was obvious when it came to Ant-Man from the second part two how they were setting it up, and I felt like it was kind of a cop out ish. Um, like, hey, we have a solution to what's gonna happen, and it's like on the nose. The fact that they were gonna go back in time and do everything all over again. You said that there was tearjerkers in this film, right? Um, seeing Spider-Man come back wasn't that for me. It was seeing Pepper Potts lose Tony Stark. You know,
Oh, of
I
course.
think I think that was the one part in the whole film where I was just like, damn, again, she lost someone she absolutely adored and loved. And if you see their whole chemistry from the first Iron Man till now, remember, he didn't see her that way at the very first film, you
Yeah.
know? And just seeing that how they became, how they came to be, I think was important for their whole structure, and her knowing that he he's the smartest person to have ever lived at this point. And she knew that he would not stop until there was a solution for him to bring back everything and fix everything. Um the fight scenes here were just like things we already had saw, you know, just from different perspectives and different angles. And the ancient one with the Hawk, again, it was like, in order for us to know structurally how space and time and fucking time travel works, she had to literally break it down. And then Bruce is like, yeah, but once you branch off, you could actually just go back to that same point. So I hate that, because I feel like time travel always opens up, you know, something
Yeah, but
else.
that's the thing with time travel. That's like, for
Mhm.
example, like with Dragon Ball Super and the
Yeah.
whole Trunks thing. They that's a whole nother way of time travel too. Like every series or whatever has their own definition of
Yeah.
time travel.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So that's like another thing too, I guess, that really bothered me. But overall, right? In terms of fight scenes and like comedy and how everybody was affected, definitely I felt bad for Thor, because he lost the most, in my opinion. The
Yeah,
most. He lost his mom. He lost his dad. He lost Loki. He lost his sister that tried to fucking kill him.
his
He
people.
legit, his basically his entire fucking Asgard is gone. You
Yeah,
know, and I felt for him. I'm glad that when he got his power and he went into like Viking Thor, he didn't slim down. I like the fact that they kept him fat Thor.
yeah, I agree.
Um, and one thing that I wish I could have seen, and I think would have made fans of this character happier, is if Hulk, as soon as like Bruce would have saw, like, Hulk would have took over when he saw Thanos and got his fair shake, even if it's with one arm or whatever. You understand? Like, for him to do something, I think would have been how you say, I don't know. I think it would have been good for his character arc. He got his little comebacks, but that didn't happen. But yeah, the like you said, that whole scene was cringy, and yeah, just to keep it in the sake of time, I'm gonna say that I like this film. I didn't think it's better than the first one. So while Fats fixes his mic, um, Chris, you got anything to say about any other
There's
parts of the
there's
film?
one there's one part that made me laugh. All right, so you know that dude that bodied Vision, the little skinny whatever, one of Thanos's children
Oh
with
yeah,
the
yeah, the
spear.
bro guy. Yeah.
So in this movie, he gets bodied in one hit by the Black Panther girl, the bald girl.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you notice, he gets bodied in one hit by her. So that goes to show you how whack Vision is.
Yeah, and she's human too, and all she uses is
Yeah, I caught that.
vibranium
I caught that on the
stabs.
low. I'm like, she sliced him like open in one shot, and you never see him again.
Hmm. I thought what I did think was funny was that is like one of the biggest, like the most mean part in the film is too, is where he's like, fire the cannons, and he's like, sire, our people. He's like, fuck them. And
Yeah,
then
he's
the
like,
other
fuck it.
one is when Scarlet Witch, she pulls up and she's like, she says something like, I hate you or something. He's like, I don't even know you.
She's like, he took everything from me. He's like, I don't
Yeah,
even know you.
I don't even fucking know
And
you.
she was bodying him too.
So yeah, this is probably my top movie from the whole MCU. I think I agree with Chris on this one. I think it's definitely number one for me. I enjoy all of the whole aspect of the movie. Like I know, and I know where you come from, Pro, that you like Infinity War better because the bad guy wins at the end.
Mhm.
And but it was like watching the fight scene, and I know it was pretty much the same thing as Infinity War, but the fact that every single Marvel character was there
Mhm.
or that was alive was fighting, and I enjoy that. Um, I do agree with both of you that the whole woman scene was a little forced. But I guess they, trying to throw that aspect in there, you know, um, giving them their fair shake in the MCU. Um, there were a lot of like moments that I was gonna tear up. What got me though was when they were doing Tony's funeral and they have the whole what's that shit called? They have a hologram of him speaking to them.
Oh yeah, at the end.
And when he ducked down and he looked, he's like, "I love you 3,000." Bro, the tears started coming. I couldn't hold it. It was like, oh fuck. Like that was a good fucking a good part. Like that shit. And then when they were saying their farewells, they were doing it by groups, and they were showing all the heroes by groups. That shit was fire as well. And they all attended his funeral. Um, yeah, this movie was dumb fire, like from beginning to end. And it showed how smart Iron Man he was in every movie. The way his character was built, he gets smarter as the movies went on, and it's crazy. Like his the no, I don't think any other character had a better character build up in any in the whole shit. He had the best character build up from his first movie to this movie, and it was just fire, the whole movie.
You know, I'm gonna say probably an unpopular opinion, but I don't want Iron Man to ever return,
No, I
and
agree.
I'm
No,
gonna
I
give you a
agree with
reason why. Because of the fact that if he returns in any way, shape, or form, right, that whole you basically, you tarnish the way he was sent off. You understand? I don't think that they should bring him to either, what you call a mentor, because I think he did his mentorship already with Peter.
that.
I don't think they should bring him back as like omnipotent fucking computer program that acts and is him,
Yeah,
in whatever way. And not even if he comes back like a fucking just a suit. You understand? Like it will take away from the fact that you had this phenomenal send off. It was Iron Man who clicked that snapped his finger to bring everyone back. He knew the gravity of that snap and what it meant. You understand? He left behind his daughter, someone that when we first see him again on screen, when they came back to help him, I mean to talk to him for he could help them. You understand? He made it a point like this is my daughter, and I'm staying around here so that I could see her grow, and you know the happiness of one for so many people, was something that he knew outweighed. But yeah, I don't want him back.
yeah, I agree with you. I think it'll kill not that it would kill his character, but the meaning of his character, which is now, won't be the same.
Absolutely.
Like he got sent off. He's the true hero. He gave up his life to bring back everyone, even though he had his life. His life was pretty much fulfilled. He had his wife. He
Well,
had the girl
technically, he
that he
didn't bring
wanted.
back everyone. He snapped them away.
Well, yeah,
Hulk brought
like
them back.
he saved everyone basically. He stopped Thanos in his tracks, and he gave up his life for it. Gave up um, the little life he built with his wife. He had a daughter. He gave all of that up to save everyone.
Hmm.
So if bringing him back would just kill off. Iron Man as the character they built for him.
Especially the fact, like I was thinking about this, right? You remember when Spider-Man comes back, Peter Parker, and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark." All I remember was Doctor Strange saying, "We gotta go, we gotta go." Do you believe or think that in the place that they were snapped to, they still had consciousness and were aware of where they were at?
No,
No?
no.
Okay.
What I think is that the whole end game, Doctor Strange saw that, and he knew
Hmm.
that was going to happen. He
Yeah, I
knew
So,
that
agree.
if he came back, that's what happened. Like he knew how they did it, and he knew what was going on when he was brought back. So that way, he said he was like, "We have to go in order to help," because he knew what was going on already.
hmm
Remember the fucking the whole time shit that he did in Infinity War, where they only beat Thanos one time out of how many fucking
millions,
just he saw. So
millions of
I think
outcomes. Yeah.
he already saw it coming. That's why when he looked at Tony when when Thanos blasted Captain Marvel, he looked at Tony. He gave him the one. He that was the hint. Like he had to be the one, the only one to grab the
To do it.
stones.
Yeah. So you think that where Thanos is, where he ever he got snapped to, he doesn't exist?
Nope. Maybe the
Okay.
ashes left on the ground.
Okay. Because my whole thing is we could talk about this after we talk about Endgame, but I want to come back to it. In comic books and in video games, Thanos always somehow comes back either from prison or from wherever to help, the heroes to stop a even bigger threat to come. So on that note, uh, I gotta give Endgame its respect, because I myself did cry. I thought that it was a great film. The parts of humor we got with like Ant-Man and War Machine, I thought were good. Krog and Thor and you know seeing Smart Hulk. I'm gonna give this film a solid 5.
Nah, yeah, I 100% agree.
Silent five. I got
That
two things, right? Before we move on to the next movie. One, I think it was a funny part. Excuse me. When Iron Man snapped his fingers, and then when Thanos turned around, that you see the dude with the big head that he uses his mind telekinesis that he used in Infinity War. That they tried when they tried to get the time stone. The dude with the big head that kind of looked like Renee, Chris. What he was like the first one to deteriorate
hmm
into ashes. I found that part so fucking funny. And then the second part, second thing, how the fuck did everybody survive? Well, the amount of people that survived for the new Asgard when they were all on that ship, and Thanos supposedly killed everybody on that ship.
because there were the people from the new Asgard. There was still a lot of people there.
Yeah, but everybody that survived the
Yeah,
devastation of Asgard, right? Like
Didn't
Valkyrie,
the ship blow
Korg,
up?
and Meek, they were all on that ship. How the fuck did they survive?
Yeah, that's true. They never showed. That is
That's what
true.
I'm saying.
unless this guy Heimdall was using his Bifrost to help them, because we don't know. You understand? But
Maybe,
we could
yeah,
go
maybe he
by
teleported them before
yeah, we could
the
go by
movie started.
just ideas.
Yeah,
You understand? So
But if that was the case, he could have did everybody. No?
I don't know.
Does
We'll
he?
never
I
know,
don't
bro.
know.
we'll never
Yeah.
know. Yeah. I'd like to start the Spider-Man one.
Yeah, brother.
Um, so this is obviously, I feel it's an epilogue to the closing of all the films, and way to pave Spider-Man's or Sony and Marvel's Spider-Man. You know, he was using Stony Tark tech. Um, Mysterio basically was, mind fucking everybody. And there was some parts in this film where I actually didn't enjoy. And that was the whole scene with like towards the end with like Happy and the children. He's like fighting all the drones and they were running around and shit trying to get, to wherever they were trying to go to. I kind of didn't like that part. Um, there was something I wanted to mention. Okay, so do you remember when Peter was swinging through the city, through like Grand Central?
Yeah.
Did you notice that there was a sign that said 1 2 3 4, and then the it said 1 2 3, but then there was a fourth. The number four was missing, and there was a question mark. I wonder if that's a nod to Phase 4 of what's to come.
I thought that was a Fantastic Four reference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I
I
thought.
thought it was like Phase 4. Like that's the way I see it.
Yeah,
But
I didn't see that.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I found this movie to be just a little bit depressing, not too depressing, just a little bit. Um, I think Jake Gyllenhaal did a good job with Mysterio, and him being this tycoon. I did like the small things that they did, like add uh Joe Jameson again, Jonah Hill, whatever his
Hmm.
name is. I said Jonah Hill.
Uh,
Jonah Jameson and back into the film. Um, what else? I don't know. It's like because I just recently saw it again with the kids, and maybe it was just like me not caring about it too much. That I'm gonna be honest, I didn't enjoy as I thought I would. I like the new suit. I like when he was going through all the tech and seeing like the other possible suits that Tony had in the pipeline for him. Um, I was still kind of confused as to if it's not Tony Stark Industries, is it Tony Stark Industry under Pepper Potts? Because remember, she writes the check for Happy, and it's like what 500 million or some shit like that.
I'm
But
pretty
yeah,
sure
that's
she's the owner or whatever.
yeah. So, but like overall, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I I think that's it. I don't really have much to say. I didn't actually enjoy it. The fight, the big fight on the city with that big drone thing. I don't know. I think that's why I'm gonna stay with that. I don't want to go too long rambling about something I don't like.
I think Fat, you should go because not a lot of people know you never saw this movie. So
I think everybody knows who watches this. Ah, I fucking thought this movie was phenomenal. It being, I thought, Pro being the tech guy, I thought he would appreciated this movie more because that's all that was involved was just tech after tech after tech. The way he used the drones to fuck everybody's mind up, the way he used it to play with Spider-Man's mind was crazy. And since it was the first time watching this movie, I already know, by reading the comics and looking into Mysterio's background, already know he's not like a, let's say, like a real supervillain. He just he
He
used
definitely gives
like,
me Scarecrow vibes.
sort of, yeah. But the only thing is with him, he's pretty much like a pretender. He'll fuck with
Mhm.
your mind, but he's not a real threat, right? So watching this movie and then him coming off to be the hero in Italy I was watching. I'm like, when the fuck is he gonna like turn? 'Cause I was already expecting it because I already know Mysterio's not a good guy, and then he sold everybody on that whole bullshit story that he was from another Earth, and
Mhm.
then I kept watching whatever they were gonna fight this elemental, and then Spider-Man when he webbed towards the Ferris wheel and he grabbed something that was fucking pretty much invisible or cloaked. I was like, there it is. That motherfucker's a faker. And then when they went to the bar and then everything, went back to normal, I was like, yo, he really got them. I like that they switched it because Mysterio's more like a magic magician type character, and the fact that he used
Tech.
technology to do what he did, I think that's a good change. You know, it was a lot more believable
But
than all
that
magic.
being said, because you said that he used tech, how would you feel about Vulture then, and his film? Because he used tech also.
I like Vulture. I like what they did with Vulture, and I love the actor they picked for Vulture. I love the way they changing the whole Spider-Man. They're not doing they well for now. They're not really using people that have powers. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
and like the first one where they had the Green Goblin, he pretty much toxic intoxicated himself. You know, Sandman and all of that. In this Spider-Man series, they having all the characters use tech, and that's where they get their pretty much their powers from.
Because the glasses too is holds obviously a big pivotal fucking you know
Yeah, I like
role in the
where they're
films.
going with all the the villains in this one. I like that the way they're going with just the whole tech shit. The
Hmm.
ending of the movie got me. I was fucking. I was. I had no words for it. After the credit scene where he's flying
Oh, where
around,
he
like
rats him out.
swinging, yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
what a son of a
Because
bitch.
because I think you know what though was funny about that, and if you paid really good attention, remember when I can't remember which film it was, but Aunt May finds out that he's Spider Man, and he's like, oh, what the, and then it's like that all over again with him doing it. I thought that was kind of cute, but again, it's just like maybe it's just me, like I just didn't feel that about the film.
I don't know, man. The film was pretty good, and how the whole spark of the his love interest with him and NJ,
Yeah,
it was good.
I love this MJ to be honest.
Yeah, she was the one who pretty much made the first move. I like that because bitches nowadays don't make the first move. Chris?
Yeah, I really like this movie too. I love the Jake Gyllenhaal in it. So far, they 2 for 2 with the villains. They both did amazing. Um, I love how he starts like as a fake good guy, like you said, and then he gives him the Edith or whatever that shit is, Eden, whatever the glasses are called.
Yeah, the thing they call the Edens.
Edith
Um,
with
and then
TH.
the bar just like was all holograms, and he finally like gets what he wanted and stuff. And he kind of feels bad. He kind of feels bad for Peter because he didn't. I guess because he's a teenager or whatever. But he got what he wanted or whatever. And I like the fact that he had he was making those elementals because from the previews and stuff, like the commercials, I was like, how the hell are they gonna incorporate those you know monsters into the universe or whatever? Like I didn't know, and the way they did it, that them being holograms was pretty cool. Um, the ending that I'm not too sure. I don't remember because I saw this like 2 or 3 days ago. I got bad memory. The ending everybody like pretty much finds out that he's Spider Man, right, or something.
Hmm. At the
Yeah,
very,
that
very end.
that part is crazy. Like the very end with Joan or Jameson and stuff.
Hmm.
I feel like the next one is gonna be, I don't know who's gonna be the villain or whatever, but it's gonna be crazy because Mysterio, uh, he's still alive, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
So he's gonna he's probably gonna be in the next movie. Maybe he teams up with another villain. I don't know,
the
but
Sinister Six boss.
I don't
Possibly.
know. I think
So
it'll be
like
too. I think it'll be rushed. They need at least, I think, one more movie before Sinister
before
Six,
they set that up, okay.
because they only have two. How
Because
many
I
villains do
know,
they have right now?
'cause I know
Three,
Tom
maybe
Hardy is
max.
supposed to. This the Tom Hardy's Venom is supposed to, from what I was reading, is supposed to at some point meet up with what's this guy called?
I w- I would
Venom.
like I would
I mean
like
with Peter Parker.
if it is a Sinister Six, let me get. let me get Peter and Venom against the Sinister Six. That would be cool.
That'd be so fire.
Yeah, and let Carnage be part of the Sinister, even though he's not really.
Oh, so they do like a row
Unless,
switch.
yeah, unless he beats Carnage in his next movie, but I don't
What
know
about
how
what
that's
about
gonna go.
what about Morbius?
I think isn't his movie like after?
Bro, I didn't even care about that shit, to be honest. I ain't watching
He
that garbage ass
he's
shit.
probably gonna he might be part of it. I don't know. And
He
then
he's like
wasn't there
he's like an anti-hero too though in the comics.
wasn't there
I don't know. I've never
a
like
guy in
cared
the
for
jail? He's supposed to be
Scorpion, yeah.
Scorpion.
He had the tattoo on his neck or arm or some shit like
So
that.
that's already what, like 3 villains right there.
Yeah.
This is
And
tip of my
I don't
tongue.
know if a Shocker will be part of it.
When you guys remember seeing the trailers with the black suit, you guys thought that was the Noir suit when you
Yeah.
first saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so did I, because they're in a different country or whatever.
Night. What was
Yeah.
his name?
The
Night
Night
Monkey.
Monkey.
Yeah, Night Monkey.
So I'm gonna be honest, in my personal opinion, um, I'm not gonna give it high up there. I think a 4 or 5 for me is fine. 4.5. I know you guys feel differently about that, but it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
That is a high rating. I'm just letting you know. 4.5.
For me, I don't know. It's like I had such a disconnect because I wanted Endgame to be the true ending as opposed to this being an epilogue, like the aftermath and us seeing now. To my point, after the rating, what I wanted to mention earlier.
Yeah.
So
I,
so four
I'll
point
give
five for me.
I'll give it a 4.5 too.
Yeah, I agree. It's not up there with Endgame and all the tops, but it's close.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be the final list. I didn't put them up on the last 2 episodes. If you guys have been watching it on YouTube, because I wanted to do just one more definitive one, and this is gonna be the last definitive one. So, Chris, could you just give us the listing and then we put them down?
So, all right. So you want the current list,
No,
and
we're
then
gonna
we
do the
put them.
final list, just the final list.
Okay,
We,
okay. Endgame. Where do we want to put that? I think is number one.
I, I'm gonna get outvoted for this one. So go ahead, just put a number one.
Is it number one for you too, Fat?
Yeah, number one.
All right. So, sorry, bro.
Nah, I gotta, you gotta keep it honest, man. I'm not
So
gonna.
it. So right now, all right. That's number one. And where you put Spider Man?
I
Spider
think
Man. Far From Home.
between,
Do you put it? All right. Let's start it. Let's start
yeah,
from the other Spider Man. You think that's a fair starting point?
Yeah.
yeah, I
Is it
believe
better
so.
than the first Spider Man?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I got it. I'm not. You can't dispute that because the fact
So
that I just feel like this film, honestly, again, I love that we're not watching a fucking origin story. I'm not gonna lie, I love that, and I love the fact that we've been set up this whole new Parker or whatever. I personally feel like it was just for me. You know how what was it you had said like 2 weeks ago? You had one of the films that you watched made you feel as if you was watching. You just was watching it. I think it was Thor Ragnarok, like the pacing and everything was fine or whatever.
yeah,
I feel like this film, the pacing was kind of off, and there was things we didn't need. That being said, like I didn't like the whole thing with, Happy trying to get them back to the fucking plane or whatever it was, you know. But
I feel
whatever.
you. It's not way better than the first Spider Man. It's like a tiny bit to me,
Okay. So what's next
but
on the
it is
list?
better. Is it better than Guardians?
2?
No, Guardians one.
I'm gonna say no, but I know you guys like it, so
I think so. Fat.
go up to the point where you guys think
I think
is
so.
go up to.
Avengers.
I think it stops there.
I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I can't dispute. I can't say that. I can't give it to you guys. I'm gonna dispute it.
Nah, Avengers. Yeah, I think it's not better than Avengers. I think it's before that.
Yeah, I think it stops there.
All right, so this, guys, ladies and gentlemen, for those who've been watching it on YouTube, for those who've been listening to us on Apple and Podbean, this is
So
the final list.
the
Come on, let's
definitive fair shake Marvel list is uh Endgame is one, Infinity Wars two, then is Civil War, Thor Ragnarok, Captain America Winter Soldier, Avengers one, Spider Man Far From Home, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider Man. What's the first one? Homecoming. That would be the
yeah,
first one.
Yeah.
yeah.
Black Panther, Age of Ultron, Iron Man one, Ant Man one, Guardians two, Iron Man two, Captain America the first soldier. What is it? The first one,
First Avenger.
First
the first
Avenger.
Avenger. There you go. Ant Man and the Wasp, Doctor Strange, Thor one, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man three, Thor Dark World, and Captain Marvel. That's the definitive fair shake list.
In my honest opinion, I think we've nailed this. I think that they're all where they need to be. In complete honesty, Captain Marvel should even exist on the list, but
Nah,
that film,
yes, I agree. There might be one or two things I don't agree with, but the most of it I agree with.
yeah, I think is a solid list. Now, the point that I wanted to make earlier was setting up for Phase Four, right, or for the new phases or whatever. Because we know how the first Iron Man started, remember? And then at the end of that film, Tony says, I am Iron Man, right?
Hmm.
Do you think that that was a nod to Mysterio outing out Spider Man and saying that he's Peter Parker? Now that the world is going to know who he is, you think that's his way of stepping into that role? Because if you
I
think
don't know.
about it,
You
there is no real leadership at the moment, right? In such a way where Captain America's an old man in the sense. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that Falcon is gonna do a good job as Captain America, but there's not a lot of people that like him outside of being Cap. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not disagreeing that he's not worthy of that title,
you
but I don't
basically
think
saying is Spider Man gonna be the next Iron Man?
yes. And also the fact that now that if anybody's been paying attention to media in a whole and how Disney's becoming basically a goddamn superpower, they have a hold of Fox, which has the X-Men and Fantastic Four. Do you believe that he's gonna somehow be the tie that brings
Yeah,
together
I think so.
these
Yeah.
other groups?
He'll be the one because just like in his you don't remember his cartoon? He had all his cartoons had all the crossovers. Like
I remember
wasn't he an
Wolverine.
X? Yeah, wasn't Wolverine, and then he went over to X Men, and then
Yeah, he actually led the
Punisher.
X-Men.
Then Punisher was in his thing. Like all his cartoons was always the tying point to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my understanding, there's some films in the pipeline that I have heard of. Ant Man is supposed to return in some way. The
Yeah,
Hulk.
I have the picture of
Oh,
the
do you really? The Hulk is supposed to make an appearance as Professor
well
Hulk.
Phase Four is is Black Widow. Then it was supposed to be Falcon and Winter Soldier really soon in the fall.
Well, isn't that gonna be the show though, right?
Yes, show. Then Eternals, Shang Chi,
Which
WandaVision
Shang Chi is has to do with Iron Fist, right?
is no, I don't even know. I think that's different.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's a different
Yeah, that's
character.
different. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That sounds pretty cool.
I hope they don't fuck that movie up.
The Loki show, which that's gonna be cool because in Endgame when he took the Tesseract or whatever.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Then there's the What If. which is gonna be cool too. Hawkeye and then Thor: Love and Thunder was gonna be next year,
But
November. We'll see how that
I heard
goes,
that
but
Hawkeye, his daughter's supposed to take the mantle,
yeah,
right?
probably. That's what I was hearing too.
She's supposed to take the mantle. Now, there are other shows within the MCU universe, but we're gonna not talk about them right now because I just want to touch on them. And that's the shows from Netflix, like the Defenders, and that has to do with what's his name, uh,
Daredevil.
Daredevil,
Punisher,
um,
Luke Cage, Iron
Luke
Fist,
Cage,
Jessica
Iron Fist,
Jones.
and Jessica Jones. Because Punisher technically is not a defender, right?
Yeah.
But they have their own thing. I like those shows because they are a little bit more adult, oriented. They had a little
Mhm.
bit more
I
grittiness,
agree.
and I think they're enjoyable. Um, Now with the ones coming from Disney, like Disney Plus, WandaVision, all that, it'll be nice to see, different things. But I don't know, like the WandaVision and that show, I'm not even looking forward to it, to be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like they're both boring. They're just boring. Like I don't want to watch a love show. That's
I
just
don't
me
think he's
though.
gonna come back.
That's the before. That's before Infinity War to show you what the fuck they were doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Because
Oh,
I heard she's gonna be in Doctor Strange's movie.
Yeah,
mm,
that's supposed to be take place after Endgame.
So
okay,
that's gonna be crazy.
But the WandaVision is supposed to take place before Infinity War, where they show you their whole romance and shit.
okay.
Winter Soldier and Falcon supposed to happen after, and then the Loki is the bridge off to show you what happens in that universe.
Uh,
A
all right.
side thing before we go on to we continue with the Phase 4 stuff. I saw a picture. I think it was a picture or a TikTok. You know when the ship starts shooting towards the air and they're like, oh, something's entered the atmosphere, and like Iron Man's like, what are they shooting at? And instead of it being Captain Marvel, it showed like Galactus. That shit would have been crazy, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was a TikTok. I was like, yo, imagine that.
But that's the thing though. Like Galactus in the Fantastic Four films was shit. You understand?
He was
It was
just
a
a
Oh, I
cloud.
never
basically
seen
it was
it.
a
I
fucking
never seen
cloud.
it.
You never seen it?
Nah, that's the one with
Oh yeah,
Michael B.
Silver Surfer.
Jordan.
No,
No, no, no,
that
no, 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 no,
that's
no.
the
Oh,
reboot you're talking about.
not even the Silver Surfer one I saw.
So
So,
then that's the Silver Surfer one. Is the one with Fantastic with Galactus.
Yeah.
But
okay,
anyways, that's part of that. Now this is a comment was directed towards me in a message about the shows and the movies that we've been watching. I
okay,
had mentioned earlier in this conversation the acquisition of Fox by Disney and all the films. My stepdad reached out and asked me, would we count those films as part of the MCU universe? And I told him no, because it's strictly MCU from the point that Disney had them and what they did. At any point, do you guys agree or disagree that those, all the X-Men films, or the Fantastic Four films, or the films that they came out with, like Deadpool, do you think that they somehow still are in the same universe as the MCU universe?
nah,
Right now, no.
Okay.
I
Right
don't
now,
think so.
no. But I've heard rumors they're trying to incorporate Deadpool being part of the next X-Men, the X-Men reboots.
Okay.
So therefore, Deadpool might be joining the MCU. So his films might take place like in the future, after Endgame, after Phase 3, and all of that shit. So it might be like that. I don't know what they're really trying to do. I hope they incorporate Deadpool because Deadpool is a great character.
I think that while he is iconic, you understand, and his films are separate from the universe itself, I do believe that they shouldn't. But that's just me. On that note, I'd like to keep this just to this cast of of the Marvels. Um, if you guys are cool with that, I'm cool with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool, cool. So everybody, I got a special announcement. For those who've been asking, you guys can catch all our previous episodes and this episode on Spotify. We are live on Spotify with every single episode leading up to number 30, which is now. Um, so right now you can catch us on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Podbean, and Spotify.
In post, can you put fake cheers in the
Sure,
background?
sure, I got you. And I want to really thank everybody who's been listening to us, who's been watching the shows whenever they get a chance. We've obviously changed the date for you guys, so we're trying to accommodate everyone by giving them options for them to listen to us. This concludes our Marvel marathon, so to speak.
Hmm.
For those who've seen the films with us and commented and and seen it, I really want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart and appreciate the fact that y'all came on this journey with us, and we hope to bring something like this again in the near future. But that's for me. Thank you from everybody. Thank you to everybody. And again, we're on Spotify. You can catch this episode and all previous episodes there.
Yeah, if you have we would like to see your list too. If you guys have a list, maybe it differs from ours. We could go back and forth in the
Yeah.
comments. But we would like to see your guys' list. And let us know if you want us to see any other franchises and review them.
Yeah. Let
We
us know.
definitely we definitely have some honorable mentions that people had asked. Some people have reached out to me and said we should do a Game of Thrones and
Oh,
talk about every episode, how just do like a second watch or whatever.
okay.
Another one was Lord of the Rings, more
Oh,
fantasy, like
never
more
saw
like
that, so that'll
fantasy
be cool.
fantasy. I the one that I'm getting high volumes for is Star Wars. They want us to know. They really
Yes.
want to know how is it that we feel about the Star Wars series as a whole. And I think one more was Harry Potter. I got
Okay.
because they want to know how what we think if because I read them all and I watched them all. How we feel the book differed from the movie,
Oh, I haven't read the books in
and then
man.
I want to
the
read one.
one of the last things, this was a
You could
joke one.
read
One of the last ones, and this was a joke one, was Tiger King
fast.
for us to do
Oh,
a Tiger King watch
didn't
through,
we
and we
do
all make fun
Tiger
of it.
King?
I
But
thought we did Tiger King.
we spoke on it, but we never really like went in depth for every episode.
Oh, they
But
want
yeah,
every episode. Okay, I
yeah.
thought you was
So
gonna say your favorite franchise, the Fast
nah,
franchise.
fuck that shit. That Fast and
If
Transformers is there as the worst for me.
if the fans want it,
I'll
would
do
you
it.
do it? All right,
Of
there you go,
course.
guys. People,
I'm never gonna
people,
say
you
no to the
already
fans.
know which one to vote on. I want to see some comments. Fast. All you got to put is fast. That's it. 4 letters.
Shit. But thanks again,
Please
everyone. I
make him watch
appreciate
it.
it.
Thank you,
All,
guys.
all 13 of them.
What?
Thank you,
There's
everyone.
13 of them shits?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, about to say.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into the Fair Shake podcast. Thank you for subscribing, following, liking, commenting, and giving us views. Thank you for helping us keep our dream alive. And this the Fair Shake podcast signing off.
It's the Fair Shake Podcast. Sucker, sucker, sucker.